All right, on hole number 15 of the 2020 Community Cup opening round. This is the third video here. I just broke this up into thirds. So let's go to, it's because hole number 15 is hole Greenwich Point, hole number 7. This is par 5, and I am coming at it with, what am I doing on this hole? QB Katana Sniper. It's because Android only allows you to do 4 gigs. QB, Katana, Sniper, Goliath is my secondary club, just in case. I'm hitting it so far back out here that no matter what, I'm going to be in my sniper range. I'm doing a max ring adjustment and I'm taking 20% off. Possibly 25.75 times. Hey, 0.75 times. And that's because I only have 3 topspin, so I'm not doing anything weird here, and I am taking the wind out. I don't need to get all the way out there. I'm trying to make sure with this club that I'm ending up in my sniper range, so I don't need to get all the way out there. Hitting it perfect. Just popping it up. That'll put me towards max sniper so I can do the rough bump. I'm doing 1 per ring, and I'm taking off some wind, taking off 25%. And if I could hit this dang thing perfect, I'd have a better idea. I keep hitting it great to the left or the right, and it's just off great to the left or the right. So if I could hit it perfect, I could see whether or not I could get the deal. I've picked up 1 shot on the back. I picked up hole number 4, and I'm on track for the minimum score of -14, and I picked 1 up. On the front 9, I picked up the -14, but I didn't pick up the extra shot, so I'm trying to cover that. I'm trying to end. I want to get this into the opening round with a -30 is my goal. If I want to win, this plays in rookie. If I want to win, I'm going to have to shoot like a 37,000. Rookie is definitely the hardest. 2.5 times 2.5 equals 1.9 rings. And a little, so I'm going to go right at 2. It's 1.9 plus 1. Oh, jeez. I either need to let it go by more, or I need to just start hitting it on that second time, and I'm right there. That was like a ring and a half great to the left, and I'm ring and a half great to the left right there. That was... I have not hit a shot perfect coming into the cup here, so I'm right there at it. So I know a lot of people coming into this hole are hitting like mid club, even though wherever they're at, like if you're coming in with your Goliath, you're hitting at mid club and adding on 10% wind. It just depends on how you're setting the shot. Like I would rather, okay, if we're going to set up a shot and we're going to add or take off, or we're going to change the wind as opposed to just a standard wind adjustment. Would you rather do that when your club's at mid club and you're at 1.75 per ring and you're trying to figure out that fractional math? Or would you rather go, okay, hey, I'm going to do a 1 per ring and then I'm going to take off 80%, or I'm going to add on and just work the number so that you can stay at 1 per ring, because 1 per ring is easy. Whatever number you come up, instead of having to do a math equation and then try and do the divisional math to get the ring adjustment right, if you're working by paper, if you do the math adjustment to see, okay, I need to remove X amount of rings and it's 1 per ring, then I need to move that many rings. If you're using the app and the app tells you you need to move 3.5 rings, then it's golden. But if you're doing paper stuff, that's why sometimes if you're watching my videos and it's like, dude, you're doing like, that's not what we're doing. It's like, because I'm coming at it, I may be coming at it at a different angle. And I am always dubious about those wind adjustments that come out at the beginning of the week. I think that gives us that we should always look at them and pay attention to it, because that tells us that there is some kind of adjustment that we may need to make. So if we're on that hole at the beginning of the week and I'm hitting at just a normal wind adjustment and I'm hitting perfect and I'm off the cup, then I go back and take a look at that. And that may give me an idea of where to start. Like, okay, the community's saying that we have to do a 10% wind adjustment on that, and I'm not doing a 10% wind adjustment. I'm always off on that side of the cup. So let's try the 10 and see if that works. And if that doesn't work, then I'll keep moving along. But I see a lot of people, they're stuck on one thing and they don't ever want to change. Got to work it. Hole number 16. Hole number 16 is Nam High Cliffs. Hole number 6. And just real quick, let's see if Golf Clash Notebook, they updated this right after the Winter Major. And the weekend right there, they upgraded all of them the week before this tournament came out. And all these holes are in Golf Clash Notebook. And I'm not sure why they didn't, because these were out at the time, why they didn't just add this tournament on there. Is this hole? Okay, this is hole number 6. Okay, and I'm doing I'm going to try. No, I don't want to risk my round here. I'm going to just do this shot. I'll practice that in my odd account because it'll mean more. Let's switch to a Quasar. I'm taking my Saturn. Open up that pin chest. Get it rolling. Dorian. The World Clan. Let's see if Dorian goes first. And what am I doing on this hole? Let's check Dorian out real quick. See what the deal is. Played in some tourneys. No top 10s yet, but they're working on it. Okay, so I'm just going to wing this. So 20% wind adjustment. I'm on my blue ring, I know that. Doing about 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. In that neighborhood, a little bit more. I'm going to do the 2.5, 2.5. It's setting me up on that side right there. I'm going to add on 20% to the wind, so that's going to be 5, so it's 3-1. So there's 2, 3, 1. Let's try and hit it straight forward. Hitting it perfect. Get a little bit of a read there and see if it's dropping to the right or if it's rolling to the cup. I got my distance just a little bit wrong. My distance was off. Just a little teeny bit less backspin, and that would have been there because it at the very end where it tailed off to the right, the speed thing, that was right at it. So it's 2.25 backspin, 2.5 left side spin, blue ring off, 20% wind adjustment. And I wrote that on the wrong damn one. I'll have to when I do my notes. What were you thinking? Put the ball to draw real quick. I'm gonna invite them to the clan. They're a tournament player. They're a new tournament player. Maybe they're looking for a new clan. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Blue ring. I used a Quasar. I was blue ring off. Blue 2.25 backspin. 2.5 left side spin. Plus 20%. I will forfeit. All right, we have our last major test of the tournament coming up right here. So this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. And I want to go just look at it real quick, and I just want to get out there and I want to just put it on and let's move along, little doggy. This shot all boils down to hitting this perfect. All right. Doing mid OP. I'm using a big topper. I'm using a Titan. The King of Balls. Make sure I got my Firefly in my bag. Off we go. All right. Here we go. Erase that on there so I don't get that confused, since I wrote the last hole's notes on this hole's slot. Okay, I'm gonna put on, I've been putting on max topspin. I'm gonna put on whatever's at the top, that half a bar, that sliver of a bar of topspin. I'm gonna take that off. Now, let's see here. Now let's get into my big topper. I'm gonna do one less topspin. Coming up into this range right here. Let's see where it's going. The wind's blowing me this direction. We're going out here. Leaving the wind in. Putting curl on it. There's max, and I don't need max. I want to do about mid. Get one ring right to the left, and that could be problematic. The deal is that it doesn't roll out the same on the left. If you hit it one ring right to the left, it's like, hey, you were way short there and you took that topspin off. If I hit that perfect down the gut, down the trough, it rolls out better on the other end. If you hit the one ring great to the left, I have found that instead of rolling through these moguls where there's like a little trough here, it doesn't roll out as much on the one ring great to the left than it does when you hit it perfectly down the pipe. And so a one ring great to the left, every time I've hit it one ring great to the left in AMI counts, I end up being on the short side. And when I'm hitting it down the pike, I'm working on the topspin to end me at the hole. One of my teammates, Dunner, got a hole in one on this. And then on the backside, he hit the same shot and was like a half of a cup off pin high and damn near hit a hole in one 2 times in a row. Awesome. Okay, I still have some work to get done here. This is serious stuff. All right, wind at this distance is probably going to play a factor, so I want to be on this side of the cup. I need to hit this perfect. Oh, and I hit it great to the right, and I have no room on the right. I think I missed it. I could have hit that if the wind was not a factor. I could not hit a great to the right. I could hit a great to the left and a perfect. Damn it. Damn it. I picked that shot up, and then I ended up turning around and dropping it on this hole right here. I failed my test. I failed. And ending up going in with the 28 and dropping a shot on a hole that you're supposed to pick up is, you still end up at the 28, the minimum, but the deal is that's not how you want to get the minimum. You want to get the minimum so you can hold on to any shots that you pick up. You can't afford to go, okay, I picked up a shot, I can afford to mess up on one hole. No, you can't afford to mess up on these holes that you're supposed to get an eagle on. You have to get an eagle on them. That was an epic fail in my mind. That is no bueno. Dang it. That's the first drop shot in the whole damn round. And you can't, I mean, I'm going to go to hole number 9, and my goal is to try and make this shot on hole number 9. But the deal is it doesn't make up for that. Making that up, gives me a 29. But if I could get there and get the Albie and get to shoot the 29, that's not the goal. The goal would have been a 30. All right. Good luck in the tournament. Shooting a 28 with a drop shot does not make me happy. All right. All right. Making the weekend round. I'm not coming in there. I really do want to get this Albie because the thing is that's a big tiebreaker thing. And forgetting about where I'm at as far as score with the rest of this stuff, getting an Albie for tiebreakers is monstrous. There's a ton of people out there with Albies, and so I'm going to be in my Kingfisher range if I can get the drive shot to work. I'm not sure where I'm going to be at my Kingfisher range, but I'm doing a 10% adjustment to the cup. And I'm using the wind to get me farther out there. About the best that I can do in this account is the shadows. So I'm like in the shadows out there somewhere, and that's been putting me towards, where was I at last time? I think last time I was actually in my minimum Kingfisher. So you don't have to get all the distance to get into the Kingfisher range, but somewhere out towards those shadows puts me, I think that was minimum Kingfisher. So that's really the goal. And I'm trying to use this fairway where it drifts off over here to the right to pick up that extra distance. Okay, with lower developed clubs, this shot from over here, I would rather lay it up. And when I first started playing, I didn't, I got to this hole. This was a Tour 3 hole. So you get there really quick. And, with your extra mile 3, I would do a rough bump to stick it on. Oh, and that makes it even worse because it's already a tough shot to get over from there when you have lower developed clubs. And if you're in the rough right there, you're sunk. I would do the rough bump and clip it and just land on this island. And then I was bringing a horizon because it's got all of that topspin, and a horizon was able to get me on. I got a lot of Albies on this hole when I first started with that horizon combo. Yeah, that's about a ring and a half that way. Did I catch that perfect, or is it great? It's one ring great to the right. You can see where I let it go. Where I let it go, that's what's frustrating for me is I get that happen all the time where it pauses right there, it stalls right there, and it's like it was right on the, like when I let it go, it was right on the perfect, and then it tags over before it's like the thing catches up, and then it's like, oh no, that was a great to the right. Okay, suck it up and hit it over to the left and hit it in the fairway. There you go. Put yourself back in position so that you can get up there. I'm going to tell you, the shot from over here is no gimme, but the deal is that don't mess around with this rough. Get over here in the fairway. Give yourself 7 rings of maneuver and end up in the fairway. Do not play rough to rough, sand to sand. Do not try and get greedy here. I would move that thing over so I was 2 rings off of that transitional surface, and I would take the wind out and I would lay it up in the middle of the fairway. Right now, and they're doing overpower. For those of you that are watching and your lower level stuff, every single thing you could possibly, and I don't care if they end up in the fairway and they still have the shot. Do not take a risk here. Put yourself back in play. Give yourself plenty of room and set yourself up for success instead of getting risky. Okay, there's minimum. There's max. So I'm right at mid. And mid club is 2.1 per ring. I'm going to gauge just a little bit of backspin. Go right up to the cup. 2.1 per ring, and I'm going to add on 10%. 2.1 per ring. I'm adding on 10%. So I'm going to do a 5 mile an hour pull, 2.1. So there's 4, 2. That leaves me 8. I'm going to do right at about a half a ring. So that was a little teeny bit of an overpull. Oh, Jesus. I just cannot catch a perfect going into this cup. with this account. I just can't do it. All right, dude. You can recover if you can make this shot. You're a minimum sniper. We should be somewhere in the 1.5 per ring range. If we add it on 10%, that's a 4-4 pull. And they're going to be off. If they hit this perfect, they're going to be off on the left-hand side unless they get some drop from the, because they're on that hill. So they may get a little bit of drop, but I think it's going to end up to the left of the cup. And in that situation with that sniper, where they were at with their red line, they would have been better off if they would have did what I was recommending and just lay it up out there. They would have been more in the mid club. They would have been able to adjust the wind out a little bit better. If you find yourself in a spot of bother like that, it's more important to recover than it is to try and get, you can't get on the green from where you're at right there. So you can press your luck and panic and try and get yourself farther forward, or you can just lay yourself up in a nice clean spot where it doesn't matter if you hit that thing, sliced it, it's still going to end up in the fairway. All right, that was 28, and that was not the way that we wanted to get there. I did pick up a shot, and then I turned around and dropped it on hole number 8 or hole number 17, and that is not the way to do this. That round, while it was a decent round, because of hole number 17, I failed in my goal. And my goal is to shoot the minimum score of minus 28 and then be able to hold on to anything that I pick up. And you've got to get that base score down. You can't afford to lose a shot on your base score. So our base score is minus 28, and I dropped this shot right here. And you have to maintain that base score every single time you play with your eyes closed. And then anything that you pick up, you can hang on to. You don't want to be doing this roller coaster ride where you're picking stuff up and you're dropping a shot and then you're picking something up. You want to be able to hit these peaks, and every single one of these peaks, you get the add plus, plus, plus. Right? So got some work to do on hole number 17 and hole number 8. Still got a little bit of work to do on that. And that was a matter of me not catching that perfect. I would have got better rollout if I'd have caught it perfect instead of great to the left. But not a bad round, not bad with what the clubs that I have. But I can't make excuses for these clubs. This bag is every bit capable of shooting a minus 30. And that one drop shot in this bracket would have put me in first. And so that's the deal. You can't, and they must have an Albie. They got an Albie qualifying round, minus 16. Look at that, minus 32. And I really do think in all of these brackets, 32 isn't going to necessarily win you, but that's kind of where it's going to start. But have some work to do still. How many people have qualified? I think this is a pretty new bracket, so we got tons of people to go. So somebody's going to pop up a bigger score up there. I'm not sure where it'll be in this account. Let's go real quick. Close your eyes. Hold on. All right, I'm in my 77 account looking at the opening round. So we have some people down here that at the bottom that are still working their way up, and we've got, if they stay on track 1, 2, we got 1, 2, 3 people right there, and we've got some people down here that haven't played. So there's probably 5 or 6 people in here that are going to shoot 26 or better than a 26 or better. So it'll take every bit of a 26 to get in. There's enough 26s that some of the 26s are going to make it, quite a few of them, but there's 26s that aren't going to make it. So if you were thinking your minimum score is minus 13, like right there, there's 26s that aren't going to make it. So that's why I've been saying all week long that we really want to focus on the 28. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let's see where we are at the top. 31, 30, 29, 29, 29. I shot a monster score. I wish that had been in the weekend round. Hold on. So I'm in my auto account, and right now, if you had to shoot a 27 or better, all the 27s are in at this moment, but there's nobody with a 26 or better. So if you were looking at, and there's people down here that are on track to beat that. So there's going to be some 27s that aren't going to make the weekend round. So depending on your bracket, that you got to stick with that minimum score. Looking at it, 29s I'm thinking by the time there's a couple people down there that there's only going to be 1 or 2 29s in the top 10, and it's going to be dominated by 30s and better up towards the top. So hopefully everybody's having a great opening round, and hopefully you can all get into the weekend, and I will catch you on the weekend round, and hopefully I can replicate my 35 and actually do better in my 77 account. All right. Thanks for watching.